Night here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. A lot going on. If you missed the first hour of our show, go back on the podcast, wherever you find podcasts, and listen back, where CC made a big point that it is Nuno's fault that he is not yet a WWE superstar. Check out @UnsportsESPN on Twitter. It's amazing as Rob Lorenzo, our social media and digital creator and director and manager of all things content, has created us and created CC as a WWE superstar. It's remarkable.
It's great.
The whole bit is to do the Trick Williams bit to Trick Williams, as he was with us yesterday after 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. CM Punk and AJ Lee are going to join us today, WWE superstars, and then Pat and Nuno as referees. Nuno is very bothered by this. I don't know. Well, why are you very bothered by your status as a WWE referee, Nuno?
It's not the status. Look at the picture. Like, I've done a lot of work, over the last 5 years to lose that stomach, and that's just bad.
Are you saying AI is not aware? AI is not aware of Nuno as the weight loss campaign that's been going on with Nuno?
So even when I was really heavy, my stomach was never that, like that. It was more wider, not like more. It was like the body was wide.
Also, I'm like 6'10".
Well, Pat, you like that? That's good. No, that's a pretty good look for you. I like it.
It makes Nuno look so small.
Nuno looks like in this. I mean, he is as a referee. He looks like he could be a WWE referee.
He absolutely
Truly.
does. He absolutely does.
It's like he was born to do it.
Yeah, and you learn. And you learn with the Unreal show on Netflix that the referee is vital because the referee is the one carrying out the content, the script, so to speak, of the match. So yeah, Nuno would be good in that role. But yes, you missed CC as a WWE superstar, as well as our conversation about the Spurs' big win over the Pistons, and Smalls and CC both saying, hey, they could potentially go to the finals right now, which is certainly going to be interesting if Wemby gets his team there this quickly. Also, we had the breaking news. Tim McManus reporting from ESPN.com around A.J. Brown, where Nick Sirianni said he can't guarantee that A.J. Brown is going to be back next year. A reminder, the wide receiver A.J. Brown is under contract for next season, yet the coach is telling you he can't guarantee he's going to be back as we get ready for all of the combine coverage this week. Now, one of the things to keep an eye on, Dallas Cowboys, and obviously this is the heart of their season here, as their season began 2 days after the Super Bowl, and George Pickens, as to whether or not they franchise him. Stephen Jones, Cowboys executive vice president, had this to say on tagging George Pickens.
Pickens, of course, leaning toward the franchise tag. We'll finalize that here over the coming week or 10 days, and then we'll go from there. We want Pickens here. Think the world of him. Want him here, love him, and I think he wants to be here. So all that's a plus. A lot of guys who we've tagged, participated in everything. Dak leading the way, and he played under 2 of them. So he never missed anything. Hopefully that'll be the case here.
After coming over from Pittsburgh, George Pickens, 17 games, 93 catches, 1,429 yards, and 9 touchdowns for the Cowboys next season. Is this the right way for Dallas to go about this?
No. The Cowboys have the third least amount of cap space going into the offseason. That's
bottom 3 cap space team.
Bottom 3 cap space team, right? Only the Saints and the Vikings have less cap space than the Dallas Cowboys. Now, There is somewhat of an easy fix if you restructure Dak Prescott's deal, which they can do unilaterally, but still, the Dallas Cowboys have other business that they have to take care of. They're transitioning to a 34 defense under new defensive coordinator Christian Parker. They want to take advantage of having those 3 defensive tackles, Odigizua, Kenny Clark, and Quentin Williams. Well, guess what? You still need to have edge rushers. You got to have the right linebacking core in order to make that system work. And there is some work to do when it comes to making the roster additions in order to fortify that area of the team. Why would you want the George Pickens of it all looming over you? You find a way to be able to make it work. You get George Pickens under contract. That way, you guarantee that you open yourself up another window to contend for a title with this core of players. It just doesn't make sense to me that the Dallas Cowboys would play out the string with this George Pickens contract and repeat the insanity that they had from last offseason with a high-profile contract negotiation that at different points has soured.
That's exactly right. We said this last year. Why would you want the Micah Parsons of it all hanging over a first-time head coach in Brian Schottenheimer as he's trying to come in here, establish a culture, and get these guys together so that they go out there and win football games? And what happened? It drug out all offseason. It drug out right until the beginning of the regular season, and then Jerry finally made a move. This is what they do. And I don't know why Stephen Jones and the Dallas Cowboys would think just because Dak was tagged and participated in everything that George Pickens is going to think the same way or want to go about his business the same way. If I'm Pickens, I'm thinking, what does Dak have to do with me? I don't care what he did. This is about me and my money and what I deem to be correct. And this is what they do. They always exercise the franchise tag. They did it with DeMarcus Lawrence twice. They did it with Dak Prescott twice, Dalton Schultz, Tony Pollard. The last time the Cowboys reached a long-term deal with a player tagged for the first time was back in 2015 with Dez Bryant. So we can expect this to play out the way that they typically go about business.
But here's the reason why I don't think it'll play out the way that they typically go about business. There's no guarantee that George Pickens signs the franchise tag, even if the Dallas Cowboys issue it. So then you have a situation where you don't know whether or not George Pickens is going to be there for the start of the regular season.
And what's the difference? He doesn't have set for life money the other guys did at the time of the franchise tag. Is that what the difference is?
Well, I don't know what the difference is, but I will say this. David Mulugheta is his agent. And this is the guy that Jerry Jones said he didn't know his name in reference to the Micah Parsons contract negotiation.
It's personal.
I just can't envision a world where George Pickens will play under the franchise tag in a prove-it scenario where he just proved it after getting traded from the Pittsburgh Steelers and had an all-pro season. Mm-hmm. That just doesn't make sense. The Dallas Cowboys wanted to see if George Pickens could work with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Guess what? It works. So if it works, then pay the guy. And if you don't want to pay him, let somebody else pay him. But to have a $28 million cap hold going into the offseason is somewhat prohibitive in terms of keeping you from being able to do other business. Now, I know Stephen Jones is saying what he's got to say because it's very early and negotiations are taking place or about to take place. So there's posturing. But this is not a situation where the Dallas Cowboys can afford to allow this to drag into August while the team is in training camp. They have to put this to bed early because they have so much other things that they have to do in order to put this team in position where they can contend this coming season. They have to find a way to make the Micah Parsons deal worth it. If they don't take advantage of the draft capital that they accrued, if they don't take advantage of the players that they were able to assemble because they want to stir the pot with the George Pickens negotiation headlines, then that is being penny wise and pound foolish.
Yeah, I mean, the key to winning for Dallas is to franchise tag him and create drama. That's their key to winning because you're looking at a football games. I would never. Yeah, well, that's not what they do. They don't play football. They play headlines.
But here's the thing, and you're not wrong. But we have to talk about it from a football standpoint.
Oh, I know.
Because you have ownership undermining what the football operation is trying to do.
And that is...
which is to win on the field.
Right, but that is the beauty of what this show is that you're the person that knows football better than literally anyone listening or watching, and we're the people, all three of us, that understand headlines. And I believe that the Dallas Cowboys care about the headlines, and I believe you're caring about the football. I don't think they care about the football the way you do.
Fair. But
that's the problem with all of this.
Fair, but what we saw this year is an indictment on the Dallas Cowboys. Think about what Tank Lawrence said when he left Dallas last year to go to Seattle. I knew I wasn't going to win in Dallas. Mm-hmm. I knew because of what ownership was doing and how they operate.
Well, they've done it again.
And guess what? He went to a team whose mantra was MOB, mission over BS. And you juxtapose that with what Jerry Jones said last offseason when he was talking about the Micah Parsons situation. When it gets boring, I stir that bleep up.
Right, so they're BOM.
Think about that, though.
That's what they are. They're the opposite.
Here's the thing. We've got to stop taking the Dallas Cowboys seriously when it comes to whether or not they can be a contender, because ownership is telling us that that's not the priority. If that was the priority, you would be more like the Seattle Seahawks, but they're not. And it just drives me crazy because they have a really good roster and they have the opportunity to improve on it this offseason, but they can't get there unless they extend George Pickens to lower that salary cap hit.
You could have stopped after seriously. Great points by you, but you could have stopped after seriously. You could have stopped after we shouldn't take the Dallas Cowboys seriously. Why should we take them seriously? Why should we ever think that it's going to be business first, stability first, football first, winning first? Why would we ever think with Jerry Jones, after decades of data points, that it's ever going to be anything other than headlines, circus, drama, money, financials, than football?
Who's taking them seriously? You're saying we should act this way. Who's acting in a way
Every season, there are people that want to buy into what they're selling or buy into the football.
I want to buy into the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, you're a former Cowboy, and you played during a time where they actually cared about football because they outsourced football to Bill Parcells.
That's true. That's true.
They made the decision to outsource the operation for a couple of years, and it worked.
I think it's a real shame, too, because Brian Schottenheimer did a good job last season. With everything that he was dealing with, all the obstacles that were put in his way, you removed the best player from your team, from your defense, right before the beginning of the season. That could derail the year. He kept them on track. You have a tragedy where a member of the team takes their own life in season, and he keeps the team together. They go on a winning streak after that, and they really showed me something. I believe that he's the right person for the job. He did a really good job based on what he was dealt in his first season. And that doesn't even mention all the drama that Jerry Jones created and the headlines and the things that Jerry likes to stir up. And it's a real shame that you have someone in place that could be really great at this and actually could be the answer. And you're going to potentially do things to make his job harder, to make the football side of this harder.
Best general managers in the league right now are John Schneider and Howie Roseman. Are we in agreement? Seattle and Philadelphia.
Yes, definitely.
So they take, in a hypothetical world, they take the flyer on George Pickens. 8 to 10 games in, they say, okay, this guy, because everybody's worried about the off the field. This guy off the field's okay. We get him. He gets us.
And a big reason why he's okay is because he became fast friends with CeeDee Lamb.
Okay, it was great off the field. So now, hold on. Let's offer him an extension right now. Let's offer him 3 years, $60 million. That's a lot of money, but it's not top of the market. But he also could go downhill the rest of the season. Does he take it? Maybe. What they would have done, I'm just making up numbers. What those guys would have done is the moment they thought, okay, he's one of us.
They always get ahead of it.
You give him the contract extension in the moment, and you never let it get it to this point. But you know what that does? It eliminates headlines. So that's a loss for the Cowboys. This is perfect for the Dallas Cowboys. They got 10 minutes on national radio and TV talking about all the drama in Dallas. 1-0 as the season progresses here for the Dallas Cowboys. They are 1-0.
Victory Wednesday.
They got to win
today.
Now, Combine starts this week. You got the Brandon Aubrey contract now. They're going for 2-0. Maybe he's not Jan Stenerud, is what the comments are going to be this week about their kicker. Coming up, there also could be drama as the Combine progresses around a certain quarterback situation. We will get to that next. We're on